Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Junta Junai. Today I'm really excited that I have the one, Aseem. Aseem and I are friends. I've known Aseem for a long time. We're both introduction leaders for Landmark. And at the same time, she's an awesome actress. She's on shows like Maria on Citizen TV, Crime and Justice on Showmax, and Disconnect on Netflix. And she's gonna be here talking about everything acting and what you need as an actor or an actress, and her life, and how she got here. Thank you for being here, Aseem.
You're very welcome.
We laugh, we joke, we sing. What a beautiful day. Not a cloud in our sight.
There's different kinds of justice.
Come on, Shaheen. Tell us what happened.
She contacted me. Akisema she had a story to tell that would shock the city.
Is it so unusual for a man to have another woman?
No, it's not.
Nobody, no matter how rich or how powerful you are, no one is above the law. These events have caused undue excitement.
Was his death an accident too?
We are women in the land of men.
So Aseem, I was looking at one of your posts.
Tell me.
You said that 2020 was a year you never thought you needed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people, might look at that different ways. They might look at that from, gosh, I hate this year.
Yeah.
You should have never been there.
Yeah.
Just based on the pandemic and what has happened, and the kind of changes that people have had. So, but for you, it was quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Just, how was it for you?
I think for me, 2020 was the year. It was my best year in terms of acting, in terms of health and wellness, and just looking after myself. What had actually happened is when COVID hit Nairobi, we started having the first cases. I think it was around this time, March, last year.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was going to the gym, I was working out, and I just had this excruciating pain. And then I got diagnosed. I was in hospital for a couple of days, and then I got diagnosed with lesions on my spine. Okay, we actually don't want to talk about it, but but I think that was quite a catalyst, because I was I don't know what the future looks like in terms of my body, in terms of what I can do. I thought I had time, right? Then that just was no, you don't. And what are you gonna do? Yeah. And if
You thought you had time for what?
I had time to accomplish, and it's okay. I'm still young. I'm still 27.
Yeah.
I've got it. At least I have one movie under my belt. It's fine. I can do this later. So I had all these notions, right?
Yeah.
And I always thought that maybe years later I can come back and do more stuff. And I was waiting for the right opportunity, right? So I wasn't taking advantage of what was already at what I already had, and I was focused. I'm a yoga instructor as well, so I was taking a lot of time to just focus on my yoga studio, and my clients and all of that. And when COVID came, fortunately, we could just work from home, teach online, and I was okay, I think I don't want to do the yoga studio bit anymore. So it allowed me to also just, I had this, I was clear that I really wanted to pursue acting.
Yeah.
And I then just gave notice at the studio at the beginning of March. And then I got diagnosed, and I was oh my God, now I probably just have a year or two to just, because I'm supposed to undergo surgery, and I don't know what that looks like after surgery, what my body's going to look like. And acting does require you to be fluid and have movement, and so I was okay, you know what, this is the best time to actually now start auditioning again and get back into the game. So I did that. I started actually acting classes first. and then went back to auditioning, applying for auditions, because fortunately they were also happening virtually, right? You had to send monologues and self-tapes.
Yeah.
So that worked out in my favor. So I started sending those out, and yeah, I got callbacks. For Maria, I had auditioned in 2019 for another show, but the same production house is also doing Maria. So they're like, okay, come for Maria, and we see how the audience responds to you.
Yeah.
So that was that. Same for Crime and Justice. I auditioned for a pilot I did with Jen Gatero, and then I auditioned. I think the person who was working with me on Jen's was also working with Njugush and Abel Mutua on Undercover.
Yeah.
So she called me, she's like, come and do this as well. So I went and did an appearance there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it also year I didn't know I needed. Yeah.
So you know, so you said that you started, you know, taking acting classes. So you're not naturally born with, like, it wasn't something that you were born with and saying, I want to be an actor, I want to be an actor. It wasn't like that for you.
I think subconsciously it was.
Okay.
But you know, acting is such a field that is so tainted with actors don't make enough money, or you know, or you could be trying to be an actor for 10 years, 20 years and not get a gig.
Yeah.
And that is the nature of the industry.
Yeah.
It's really just, it's a gamble.
Okay.
You know, it's not as certain as become an engineer, get a job, and, you know, have a 9-to-5 job. And it's like, it gives you that certainty financially, right? But acting does not work like that. You could be from NYFA and not get a job.
Yeah.
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 So, we do have, like, my mom's brother did go to Bombay and he tried out and it didn't work for him. So I was like, you know what, maybe it doesn't work. So I never really said it out loud that I wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
But so I was like, let's take the safe route, right? Let's study engineering, you know, go back to Nairobi, work for maybe Airtel or Safaricom and see what that looks like, right? Like everybody else, I got scared as well. And I think also if I at that time I came back to my parents and said I want to be an actor, they'd be like, are you crazy? Acting is not going to pay your bills, which, you know, is quite accurate.
Yeah.
In the initial phases it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so okay. So you're obviously not in it for the money. So
yeah.
So why are you doing? You know, why an actress? I mean, why are you doing it?
I don't have a good reason for it.
Right. Okay. Well, you don't need a good reason for actually anything.
I don't have a good reason. I don't have a convincing reason. But what I do though is I just love being on set. It's just as simple as that.
Wow.
Like I can just. I called the producer and said, if you tell me to clean the set, I'll clean the set. You know,
wow, yeah.
Like I just love the energy on set. Everybody is so great. I love the vibe, and I'm like, if you know, I just love that. It's simple as that. I would love to be on a set in any capacity. I just fortunately got to be in front of the camera. Yeah. But I would do anything to be on a set. Yeah.
Got it. And so look So you're Indian Kenyan.
Yes.
And you obviously live in Kenya. We're in Kenya actually. I'm not in India. Just you know.
He did not fly out there. Not yet.
Not yet. Give me time. So you know, I don't know how it is for Indian Kenyans acting in Kenya. You know, are there some stereotypes out there? You know, that are like, oh, they don't need to be on set because they're Indian Kenyans. Or,
right.
What are the challenges for you? You know, being an actor here in Kenya.
I think the first and foremost, it starts with the auditioning, right? When we get sent out a casting call, right? Yeah. So they'll put out a character bible like tall, dark, petite, slim, and they'll be like, you know, just say something like, for example, you say something like Stella, right? Or say something like Mark. I don't look like Stella or Mark. I know that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I do look like a Preeti and I do look like a Sonia, but I don't look like a Stella. So that already in itself is a very discouraging point for me. It had been a very discouraging point for me as an actor. Like, should I really apply for this? Because given the 4 characters they're auditioning for, I don't fit the bill for any one of these.
Yeah.
Right? And what I started doing is when I found out that, you know, for Supermodo, they initially wanted to cast a boy. For the lead.
Yes.
The girl, right? Instead of the girl, they wanted to cast a boy. And then the girl shows up and they're like, why not? So I was like, maybe I can show up, audition and change their mind.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, let's do that. I did that. It didn't work for a while. right? So I was like, okay, this is not working. And one of my actors coaches also said that it usually happens when a casting director is open to that and has that, and the director and casting director have that kind of chemistry and that kind of brilliance where they're like, you know what, we can actually turn the story a bit around, have this actor because she's good, put her there. So maybe that was not there. Maybe I was not convincing enough. There could be a lot of factors. But what that allowed me to do was, they would not possibly cast me for the 4 characters they are auditioning for, but they would cast me for a friend, or they would cast me for a cop, or a con woman, and so that started working. But there are stereotypes. There are stereotypes, like I think there's what I've faced. One of the biggest stereotypes I've faced is they just expect you to be bougie for some reason.
I so connect with that.
Okay, right? And I'm like, guys, I'm okay. I will eat mandazis and tea. I'm fine with that. So they just such a, because it's not that they say it, but the way they behave around it is like, okay, all right. Because I am Kenyan. I was born here. I did the KCPE system, so I am aware of, there's that cultural connection. So we can't just say, can you speak Swahili? I'm like, you do know I went to KCPE. I did the KCPE system, right? I didn't do 8 till 8th grade, but I completed in 7th, and you had to study Swahili as a language in KCPE. So I'm like, that's a few, right? That's name a few. But just another one that really gets to me is when they talk, when we are usually briefed before the casting is final, right? So they'll talk of something about, look, there might be some how do they say it? It's a word they use for it, but it's more like a connecting scene. It might be something where you have to really connect with the other partner, with your player. So, do you think you'd be comfortable with that? Just think about it, because we understand culture.
Okay.
And I'm like, what do you mean connect with the other partner? Like you maybe, let's say, you're really in love with this guy, and I get it. I'm an actress, I do get their stories that need to be told, and I'm willing, I'm willing to go to certain extents and tell the story. Because I always think story is the hero. It's not the actor, it's not the actress. It's the story that has to be delivered in a very convincing and authentic way. So I cannot say, no, I'll not touch you, or because Aseem, the person, has some cultural limitations, but the character is different. The character is made up. And the character is, if she is falling in love, with a person with the opposite race or with a different race, she already knows why she's doing it, so she is comfortable doing it. So I have to bring myself to that level, right? And as an artist, I believe in doing that. But they do that stereotype. That's a major stereotype. And,
what do you think has contributed to that? One of the things that I can think of is this culture of of Indians, not Indian Kenyans not really being Kenyans, and not really understanding Kenyans, and then Kenyans not understanding the Indians. So what do you think what do you think has contributed to that? That they just can't see you as a Aseem. They see you as somebody who can take mandazi, who can take like black tea or something. They have to treat you a certain way. What do you think has contributed to that?
No, they don't treat me a certain way. I wish they treated me like a VIP. They don't do that.
They didn't do that. Okay. All right. Okay.
I wish they treated me like a VIP, but it's just the air changes.
Okay.
And first of all, I think what contributes to that is just how you've just asked the question. How they look at you as an Indian Kenyan and not look at you as a Kenyan. You see, that already in itself is like, Indian Kenyans are different and Kenyan Kenyans are different. That in itself contributes to that. Because, I know Kenyans who are Indian Kenyans, let's just put it that way. Indian Kenyans who are 4th generation Kenyans, or 5th generation Kenyans. So they are practically Kenyans, and they are Indian Kenyans I know who have never been to India.
Okay, yes.
But I think it's just that thing of, I think also the Indian community originally, when 2 generations ago, were also like, let's just stick to our own. So that was, I think, a major contribution factor. But also I think this whole hype, like there was a lady who married a Kenyan, right? And it was on the news, and I'm like thinking, this wouldn't be the case in America, right?
Yeah.
Because if that were the case in America, half of the Americans would be on the news.
Yeah.
Right? So I think also media contributed to that at that point, like really hyping that story, that she was banished and she was told to go away and now she wants to come back, and it doesn't make sense. But I also think our stories have not updated, in terms of like even just if you look at the kind of series we have going on Citizen or whatever channels you want to see, you would always see that this Indian person being in love with this Kenyan person, and there's this whole drama around the family. That really feeds that narrative. You and I have known each other personally for God knows how many years, right? But that doesn't get in our way. But you don't get this kind of partnership being displayed on TV or on films. You don't get these kind of stories being told. I have some of my closest friends who are Kenyans or Africans and whatever you want to call it. But some people who contribute hugely to my life. You know those people as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
But it's not; those stories are not being told. You see, the fact that we keep trying to sell the same product over and over again to keep Kenyans entertained and not open their minds is one of the reasons why this country, we have this narrative going on. But we don't realize how much we actually contribute to each other, how much value we add to each other's lives, and just, and how much we all can bring to the table. And if we did that, all industries would really flourish, I think.
So what are some of the difficulties, in being an actor? One of the things that me as somebody who watches people acting is that it looks so easy and they're having fun and they're getting paid for this, just acting. You get paid a lot of money to just act, really? How difficult can it be? How is it to act, really?
I think,
the whole thing,
First of all, we're not getting paid a lot of money. Let's start from there, right?
We see you see your lifestyles on social media.
Let's admit it. On social media, you're only putting your wins. You're not putting your losses. We all know that, right?
Put your losses on social media also. You're only putting your wins.
But what are the difficulties? I think, first of all, shooting can be very long and very physically taxing and emotionally taxing. Right, you could be shooting. I know I've been on set for I think 18 to 20 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've done that in a film, in 2 films actually. So that can be very exhausting, and by the time they're getting to your part to shoot, you are like, what was I supposed to do here again? So that's there. I think also some of the other difficulties are, I get very nervous before a scene. That's just me, okay? So I think, how do you manage that nervousness? I get nervous and I don't show it, so that's a good thing. But that's not the emotion you want to communicate, right? Depending on what scene you're doing and what character you're playing, and you want to probably communicate anger or heartbreak or sadness, and that it takes prep. It takes prep, like getting out of the nervousness, giving it up, and then getting into the character. That's also, I think, can be difficult, because sometimes you may achieve it, and sometimes you may not. Like I said, it's not engineering that you program it a certain way and you get a certain result. It doesn't work like that, right? So you may program it and it does not come out. So there's that. What are other difficult? It does look really, really great, but you don't know how many times we've shot that. You don't know how many times, how many angles we have taken it from, and we've said one thing 1,000 times, and you're like, okay, is this a scene yet? So there are all those factors. We start very early. Most productions we start very early, 6 a.m. Makeup, hair, all of that, and it's rushed. You would be surprised. We barely get time to eat. So, yes. It's like 10, maybe if you're lucky, 25-minute, 30-minute lunch break is a dream come true. But it's usually let's quickly eat and then go back on set and then shoot again, because everybody's racing against deadline. Delaying a shoot costs a lot of money. Delaying a shoot can cost, we don't want to catch up with the episodes we are airing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So so it's work like any other. Like you have to put in the work. It's
Yes.
not just show up and here I am.
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
start
yeah.
acting. Let's start
yeah.
doing stuff. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Alright.
it's not like that.
Yeah.
You have deadlines. You're under pressure all the time because you could be taking too much time to change, and everybody else is ready. And you're fixated on your look. You're like, this is not I don't think this is what my character would do in this in this scene, and you're trying to achieve that, whilst everybody else is ready and waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
So crew is not doing anything, actors are not doing anything. That's money production's losing.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So it's a very tight ship that's run, and that's when assistant directors come in and say, come on, Janai, let's go. So they really push you to get out of your, your rooms or whatever you're changing, whatever you're doing, just get out and just be on set.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, you don't really notice it, but a lot of time our looks are actually coming together in between takes. So in one take I might just do without my shoes, and because I was rushed, and then somebody brings my shoes in the next take, and somebody's doing my lipstick in the third take. So you don't notice these things, but that's how it runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So now, so for actresses or actors, people who want to get into acting, some people might say, I've actually been doing this for a long time. I haven't gotten my big break yet, as they said. I'm still doing small shows, or But I go to auditions, and or I can't find auditions to go to. Yeah. So, what did it take you to get to where? No, I'm not saying that. What did it take you to get to where you are right now? And I'm not saying that it's been easy, but what did it take? For that person who's out there, who has been doing this for a long time, even 10 years or more. They've been doing it for a long time, and they love it, but they're just not getting their big break. Yeah. What would you say to that person?
I would say what a very polished actor once said, and I needed to hear it: do not get tired. He got his big break after 40 years.
Wow. Can you say that again?
So one of the actors, he's really big. Now he's really big. He got his big break after 40 years. And it wasn't up until 2 years ago.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So he's now a big actor in his 41st year. So don't get tired. And this is something I also constantly have to remind myself.
Yes.
Because again, in between gigs, like now I've not been on set for almost 2 or 3 months, so I have to constantly remind myself also that don't get tired. Audition. That's the only way to do it. You're tested in every audition. So I would just say to them, you gotta keep doing it. If it is something that you want to do, you got to keep doing it, and don't worry about what magnitude it is. Don't worry, what, I want my gig to be a Netflix movie, or I want my gig to be, on Citizen TV, or, Nation. Don't worry about the magnitude. Just enjoy it and love it, and do it wholeheartedly wherever you are in any capacity. It could be on a stage, it could be in your room, it could be a monologue you're practicing. Just enjoy it where you're doing it.
You're on Netflix, you're on Showmax, you're on Citizen TV.
Yeah.
What still keeps you grounded? And I'm asking that question because I've seen a lot of people who, they make it the first time, as soon as there's an opening, and then they're on TV. So now life has changed.
Yeah.
It's now you can no longer get into them. You can no longer call them. Like what keeps you grounded? What has you still knowing that I'm still Aseem, and I can still talk to Junai. She didn't have to do this, by the way. I can still talk to Junai.
Yeah.
Or I can still be grounded in still having conversation with people.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just the inherent nature of who I am. It's not. I think it doesn't hit me like it never has hit me that I am a celebrity, right? And I have been doing ridiculous things in public, and people go, "Oh, you're Sonia from Maria," and I go, "Shit, you just recognized me! Oh my god!" And then I was like, I thought I could get away with this. I've been recognized in like markets where I'm like really bargaining. They're saying 80 shillings and I'm saying no, 50.
Yeah.
And you know, then they go, aren't you sorry, I'm from Murray? I'm like, oh crap, now I can't do it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't hit me like that, that I am recognized. And yes, I've done really great projects, but I feel, I just feel, I just want to keep acting. That's all it is. Like I just want to be on set, like I said, and I think that's what it is. Like once I could complete a project, I'm just like looking out for what's the next project I could do. What's the next? Where's the next set?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm always looking out for.
Yeah.
So I think that because. I think it's also the nature of the industry, because you do a project, then you could be off for days, weeks, months, and years, and then get the next project. It took me years between my some of the projects I did.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what keeps me grounded, because you're not there on set every day, getting all the attention, you know, being all celebrity all the time. So you come back to your normal life, and you're in it for a few days, weeks, months, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, I kind of forget I'm an actor, and go back to being the yoga instructor.
Okay.
I do forget it. I forget it. I don't know how it works, but it's really ridiculous.
Yes.
I don't know, but it's working in the sense, like it's keeping me grounded, and even I also feel that surprise. Sometimes I'm surprised with myself, and I've not really analyzed it. But as we are speaking, I'm also trying to see what it is.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe if you see something.
Okay. You know, and you're still a yoga instructor. You still do that.
Yeah.
In your former place, or you now have your own place?
So I had my own place, right, which I gave up last year.
Yes.
But what I now have is I still teach online. Because of COVID, people are very reluctant to meet in person, which is good.
Yes.
You know, people are staying safe. That's understandable. So yeah, back to online. I've been teaching online classes, and that's one thing I was also struggling managing when I was shooting. I was shooting 2 projects at the same time, so 2 or 3, and it was like, give these people dates, give these people dates, give these people dates, and then look at clients. And my clients have been really good. They have been really flexible, and they've been willing to, shift sessions and do all of that. And I have a very strong community of landmark people who also support me. We have done
graduates.
I've done the landmark forum, and I'm an active landmartian, as I call it, as we call it. And I'm also an introduction leader for landmark. So I really believe in our technology. I believe in our work, and I think, you know what, the answer to staying grounded is actually landmark. And people who have stayed committed to me. That is the answer, actually. There are people like Robin will give me a smack on the hand any day.
We know Robin. We're both introduction leaders, actually.
So there are people who really love me, and they remind me who I am.
Okay. Got it. So sometimes I see actors and actresses, they don't see Kenyan actors as people who are actually great actors. They say, I've got to go to Hollywood I've got to get to Hollywood so that people can know that I'm a great actor. What did you tell that that actor? What do you tell that person who says, easy vitu za Kenya, siko chini. States, that's where everything is. What did you tell that kind of person who has that mentality that this is all crap, I've got to get there, people know that I'm great? What did you tell them?
I would tell them,
because remember you told me that you used to say that too, that
so for me it was like, I look like this, in case you haven't noticed. And I always thought, okay, I'm clearly not making it in Africa, right? Because my skincare is not relatable. I started a lot with modeling. I started a lot with modeling auditions. I think I auditioned for almost 3 years, and I still audition for modeling jobs, and I've not gotten a single modeling job, because my skin is not relatable to the masses. Right. That's a fact of the industry, right? But it's changing. I feel like it's slowly changing. But that has been a fact for the past few years, at least since I've been auditioning. And I always thought I need to go to LA, UK, or Bombay. It has to be one of these 3 options where my skin is more relatable. I can do really great gigs there, and hopefully I'll get picked more often than not.
Yeah.
But that does not happen, right? So I think what I would say is that you need, as an actor, you cannot stop growing. If you see some of our first productions, and even as an industry, if you see some of the earlier productions that we had in the Kenyan film industry, and you see our productions now, you even go like, I can't believe that is Kenyan.
Yeah.
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 I think even if you look at really big shows, and if you see something like, we have really great movies coming out on Netflix, and you go, oh my God, that's Kenyan. Like we have Just in Time by Sarah Hassan.
Yeah.
We have Disconnect on Netflix. We have Crime and Justice. We have really, really great shows which are now on Netflix and Showmax. And you go, oh my God, I cannot believe that's a Kenyan production. So we are already meeting the Hollywood standards in terms of our productions, in terms of our performances. So I don't understand what's the point of going there? If you get hired for a specific job and you go there and you do it, it makes sense. If you're not, I don't think it's worth the struggle to go to LA or anywhere else, unless you're handpicked.
Yeah.
Unless you're handpicked. Because you have to factor in costs of living, it's very expensive. We are barely making it in Kenya. How the hell are we going to make it in LA? Yeah, but it's not just that. Also, if you're not participating in productions here in Kenya, that already tells me you've not been on a production. So that already tells me you do not know the workings of a set and a production and what it takes, and you haven't practiced being an actor when the director goes action. How do you switch from being Aseem to Sonia if you have not practiced that?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So how are you actually going to master your craft if you're saving yourself for Hollywood? How's Hollywood going to discover you if you're not really out there?
Yeah.
So you really still need to audition, come into productions here, make most of what is available here.
Yeah.
And then think of going to Hollywood and whatever it is that you think would be next in your journey and would be, the next thing you need as an artist.
Yeah.
But I think you need to first master your craft. You need to a certain level. You never really master it 100%, but you do need to get some certain practice of being on set or being on stage, and and what it's like to transition from being yourself and being an actor, actually being a character. What it's like and what that life entails. You need to look at that. You need to practice it, and then think if you actually want to keep doing it, and then if you're really good enough, you'll actually get a call from Hollywood itself. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Sometimes, and probably there's some accuracy in this. A lot of actors and actresses are saying that the acting industry or the film industry is all about who you know. Yeah. Who you know, or all about there's some people who know each other, so they call each other for gigs and for shoots and all that. Yeah. I'm really curious to know someone who's sitting at home and who has that mentality first of all. And who's actually been told so many times. I mean, I've been told a couple of people that sometimes it's not about how great you are. It's about I've worked with Aseem, she's great. I'd rather call Aseem versus try out a new a new actor. Yeah. What would you say to that? That whole world of they know each other. You see, I've seen Aseem here now. I'm gonna see her next time there. Yeah. Next time there. Right. Oh, I saw that director in that film. He's the one doing this. He's the one doing that. Yeah. And there are great people out there who can do that. What did you speak to that? What did you say to that?
I don't know how that works. Usually what happens is, I think to some extent productions like working with certain crew members. Because production is such a sensitive thing. If the sound's off, your whole project goes off, right? If the lighting is off, your whole project goes off. If the DOP is not good, your story is not being told correctly, right? Or at least accurately, right? So I know that some production houses prefer doing. Okay, you know what? Janai is really great with DOP. We have seen him work with us on this show. Let's hire him, right? But I've also seen the same production house say, here's your intern, train this person.
Wow, okay.
I kid you not, I've been on set, I have to really give credit to this for, credit I have to give to Jiffy Pictures, who are the producers for Maria. Yeah. When I was on Maria, I saw that yes, they had people who they work with, but they were also training a new guy for sound and a new guy for lighting and a new guy for a DOP, right? So you could be like the main DOP, but I am there and you're training me and trying to explain to me why you're setting this angle, why you're setting this lens, all of that. So there's that too, So I wouldn't say give up, because as the industry is expanding, and we need to expand with it.
Yes.
And we need more people who are taking the craft seriously, right? So that is the production side. The acting side, I would love to live, to see this day when they call me and they say, oh, we have seen you here, we would like you to come and act for us. I would love to, I to see that day. I'm like, but I would love to live to see the day when I'm called and told, Aseem, we saw you here, come and do this project for us, right? But that doesn't happen on the acting side. On the acting side, it's a lot to do with audition. I've gotten all my projects from auditioning. Not one project was like, come and do this for us. No, all of them. Is there any? No, actually all of them were like that.
Okay.
I auditioned, I sent clips, I showed up, I went for callbacks, I did all of it,
Okay.
And a lot of them were last minute audition calls, and you just have to be clear, is this something you want, is this something you don't want? And
so do people look for those auditions? Like, any tips on those auditions for people? Like, because that's the starting point, where do I go for auditions? Like, what do people need to do? Like, do they need to look on social media or adverts? Like, how do you?
Okay, so back in the day, they were not, which is like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
4 years ago, they wouldn't really post a lot of stuff on social media, but now there are a lot of pages and groups on Facebook, like Actors Club of Kenya, something like that, or Actors Club Kenya. There's something along those lines. You can look out for casting directors. There are a lot of casting directors in Kenya who are great. They cast for great projects, and they have like 100 follows. And I'm thinking, if I were an actor, I would hunt you down, my friend, and I would follow you, know. And I do give them I always give them shout outs when projects come out. There are a lot of great casting directors are like Lorella Jovi. She's been casting for Crime and Justice. Another great casting director is Oliver of Versatile Models. He casts for for modeling projects as well as film and TV. So these are great people to look out for. Follow them on social media. They usually do post a lot of stuff, and in fact they were posting so much and they weren't getting enough people.
Oh, okay.
So don't tell me they're not jobs, because I disagree with that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's you need to audition, find out casting calls, find out casting directors, and apply. Yeah, there's no shortcut to that.
There's no shortcut.
Because when you're starting out, nobody really knows you. And you also don't know the process. Even going for auditions is a learning curve.
Yeah.
You need to know what mindset you need to be in, how do you protect your energy, how do you protect your character's energy, and you project that character, come back and forget about it. Don't think you're going to nail it. Like that you will get it. That's not the case. Go for the next audition the next day.
All right.
Yeah. Forget about it.
Really
audition and forget about it.
Audition and forget about it. Just keep auditioning,
I didn't have anybody call me, right? So I can't really tell you that call so and so. I auditioned for Disconnect. I auditioned for Disconnect and I forgot about it, and they called me almost 6 months, if not a year later, and they're like, come for the call back. It was really, I had forgotten about it because I thought, okay, I didn't get it, okay, move on. And they're like, no, come back and we want to see your chemistry with Brenda and the rest of the group. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we did that, and they're like, next they're like, okay, you're hired, come and sign your contract. Yeah. So you there's no shortcut, I think, in my journey at least. Yeah.
Okay, got that. Where do you want to see yourself? As a Kenyan actress, where do you want to see yourself?
I think I want to, see myself in a place where the industry is really great. Like we are professional. We are not worried about, oh my God, will this gig pay my bills? We're not, and I don't have to do 2 jobs and other actors. Yeah. And have another stream of income. It's great to have many streams of income, but it's not because out of necessity, but out of creativity, right? Like, because I do want to, you hear like Kardashians have this fashion line and they have this makeup line, not because they need the money. I mean, they have enough.
Yes.
But they do it because that's what they enjoy. I would like actors and, to get to that place. I would like myself to get to that place, and the industry to grow to that level. What's next as an actor? I think just really improving myself on the craft. I think that's my focus right now.
Yeah.
Looking at how I can train myself and be better at this, be self-expressed at this, because I do, like I said, I get nervous before a scene. That's something I know that gets in the way of my performance. So there are things I know that get in the way of my performance, and work on them and improve. Yeah, I think really expand myself as an artist. I'm learning how to play instruments, and because that's also something I want to do. So
which instrument are you playing? Are you
piano?
Piano, okay.
Yeah. Just yesterday my teacher was like, when you started, you were pathetic.
Did you actually say that?
He actually said that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, like, when we started, you were pathetic.
Yeah.
But today, I'm very happy to see where you are. And I'm like, I was like, this poor guy had been so patient with me, hearing whatever I was playing, and and we do a bit of voice as well. We do a bit of voice warm up as well, because again, some actors do that, and I'm trying to see what that provides to a performance. Right. So. So when I would do my voice warm up, he didn't say anything initially. Like a year later, now he's saying something like, "Even your voice warm up was horrible." Let me just tell you that. And I said to him, and we started the class after. It's like, and as I was doing the warm up, I was thinking, this poor guy heard me heard me produce all sounds of pathetic noises in his language, right? And this guy was so patient with me, and he heard me do that. Like, he's so great.
Yes.
But poor guy, he has really suffered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so there's that. I want to expand myself in that dimension as well. That I'm just doing for fun. I'm not doing it because I think it would. Maybe I do musical or sing with Saudi Soul. I hope you're listening. But just to improve myself as an artist, explore what's out there creatively, painting, art, all of that. So I'm doing some of the things. But as an actor, what's next for me? I think just that, expanding myself, my skill set. Put it that way.
All right, got that. And what are some of the Kenyan actors that you really look up to? What are some of the, and you can mention their names if you, that's okay. Some people that you're like, wow, those guys, man, or that guy, or that lady, or whoever, great actors. Maybe you've been on set with them, or maybe not. But you just look up to them.
I think I've had the privilege of working with really great actors. I mean, I don't know how this happened. It's just God's grace, but I've had the privilege of working with Sarah Hassan, and I told her even on set, I was like, it's such a joy to watch you act because she's so good. Paul Ogola, I loved him. He's also playing. What is he playing? He's playing the prosecutor in Crime and Justice, and to watch him act, I would forget my lines because I would be so, in his world, seeing what he's doing. I think he's a fab actor. Ronald Doobie, who plays Victor, I've seen him perform, and oh my God, he's just there's a scene he did, and I literally stood up and clapped. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you just did that. I think he's a very free artist, Ronald. I think and I wish to be there. One of the actors I also really
When you say free, what do you mean?
He's very free, he's very expressive, and he's not limited in any way. When you see him act, it's like he's a beast, and I love it, Not as a character, but as an artist, he's just like out there. I love it. I love Quincy Rapando. He played Thomas on Maria. Again, very good actor. Brenda is very good. Brenda Wairimu is an excellent actress. You just see her just being quiet and calm, and then as soon as action goes off, she's just like, okay, what are we doing? You know, it's amazing how she transitions. Kate is very good. Kate actress,
Yes,
I love her.
yes.
I really look up to her.
Yeah.
She's very good as an artist, as a performer. She's very friendly. She has no airs about who she is, because Kate actress being Kate actress, you know. But she's quite nice. One of the other actors I really like is Pascal Togodi. As an artist, I love him.
Selena guys, Ona Selena.
Ona Selena. As an artist, I really love him.
Yeah.
He's really free with his work. Ooh, my favorite, Brian Ogola. I met him on Disconnect. I fell in love with his acting and his art, and the way he is as an artist. It's just fab. Amazing. Maqbool Mohammed, I met him again on Disconnect very briefly, but I got to sit down during Crime and Justice and have a chat with him, and I really discovered who he is as an artist. And I really admire all these people as artists. They are not people who are like, oh, I'm a celebrity, especially like guys like, for example, Ronald is not like that. He couldn't care less. He just wants to act, you know. So this is what I really admire about them, that they are really in it because they really love it and they really enjoy it, and they really want to, you know, expand themselves as artists. So they are, so I really look up to these guys, and I really hope to be as free as them with my craft.
All right. Okay. Great. Wow. Aseem, thank you. Thank you for being on this show. And as I told everyone, you didn't have to be here. But you know, but you're here, and I'm really excited that you came on. You know, just have a conversation with you. And you know, and for all the actors out there, actors and actresses out there who, you know, are saying it's difficult to get into the industry, I think Aseem has you know, shed the light on a lot of things that happens in the industry, and the kind of work you need to do to actually, you know, be called and somebody says, oh, that's a great actor, that's a great person, we can work with that person. So I just want to thank Aseem for being here.
Thank you.
It's been really awesome having you here. It's something different that we've not been doing, but now we're now doing. And you know, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do that. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.